Hey, what is up everyone? Killian here bringing you another video, and this time it's about Tera, specifically the most active private server who have made it their mission to carry the torch for development of Tera and paving the way for really the future of what the game can be. First and foremost, I wanted to make this video because I wanted to let the community of MMO players know that Tera, the MMO with the best combat of all time in my opinion, is still alive, and with the support of everyone who's loved this game in the past, or new players looking to experience true action combat, you do have the opportunity to do so through MT. I've also had the opportunity to speak with a few members of the MT The Dream team, and truly I have a lot of faith in the continuation of Tera, and hopefully through this video you will kind of see that faith being brought to true form. Little side note before the video, they did make a giveaway code as well that's later in the video. Now, realistically, as a player, I've played on MT The Dream or Minma's Tera for quite some time. I played in prior patches and had a good time with the overall game, but I wanted to go a little bit deeper with this video and kind of get an idea of what the overall goal is for MT in the long run. I can't think of anyone better to chat with other than the cornerstone lead himself of MT, Icha.
Hello, I'm Icha. I've been playing Sorcerer and Tera since 2013. I joined the team in August 2022, and since then I've had considerable oversight over the direction, balance, and content creation of the server since then. I also streamed and created Tera content on both Twitch and YouTube as well.
Since the live servers of Tera unfortunately have been shut down, I'm really happy that the MT team have stepped in and have been attempting to carry on the torch of, in my opinion, the best combat MMO of all time. They've really stepped it up by providing a large amount of balance, new cosmetics, and even going as far as new bosses. What do you feel MT has to offer for everyone, Icha?
Okay, so on MT, our goal is to succeed retail as like the server to play Tera on. We rework systems that people didn't like in retail and streamline the overall game experience. We have a dedicated team for new content and even community artists who creates new costumes, all working together to make MT the best experience for the community.
And with those goals in mind, Icha and the team over at MT have definitely done a really good job just kind of pulling Tera back into a really playable state. I know in later patches on Tera, a lot of people had issues with a bunch of the card collection system, or like enhancing being kind of a pain, or how there was quite a bit of class imbalance, especially after the Apex skills were released. One of the huge things that I've noticed whenever it comes to MT in the long run is the balance of the server is pretty insane. Like the level of gameplay in which they are pulling data from, they have basically gotten all of the classes within 1 to 5% of each other, which was a huge pain point for a lot of players, where they felt that they couldn't play the class that they resonated the most with just because it underperformed so much more in accordance to other classes. Things like equalizing your actual DPS windows to where most classes either have a 1, 2, or 3 minute timer. They made the DPS brawler actually viable. They made it to where warriors provided the same kind of attack speed that lancers could with adrenaline rush if they were tanking. Another really huge thing that I personally think is a massive boon to the actual fluidity of the game is when you kill a boss, it resets all the cooldowns. Like the entire group's cooldown. So priests can get their self-res back, or mystics can get their self-res back. Berserkers get their unleash cooldown back, which is half of my class pretty much. And also, in the situation that your party wipes on a boss, like everyone goes about dying, it instantaneously will res you back, or it grants everyone a res. So you don't have to deal with annoying run back mechanics or anything along those lines. These kinds of changes that they've made to classes and on top of the like micro adjustments that they've done to make each class, as far as like the DPS viable, or like the tanking being pretty equalized across at least warrior and lancer, or like the healing prowess of mystics compared to priests, like all of those micro adjustments made a just really good experience whenever it comes to playing Tera at a high level. And that's something that I just greatly appreciate that the team has done. Other changes that they have made to the game outside of balance and just general quality of life things are things like removing the enhancement aspect of the game. You now will basically just do a quest line, get a base set of gear, and then not enhance, but upgrade that gear just by gathering materials, by doing enough dungeons at a given like difficulty level to get your get the next step of gear. They also have made it to where really 95% of the costumes, whether they're dyeable, non-dyeable, or weapon skins, all of those things you can get just by playing the game. Because as you do different in-game things, battlegrounds, dungeons, whatever it may be, you earn the Vanguard credits, which is a reputation vendor, and then from that you actually just convert those straight into the currency you use to buy other costumes and whatnot. So these are the kinds of things that really does set aside Empty the Dream from the other like servers that I've seen. Another really huge thing whenever it comes to MT is that due to having a built-in proxy, like in the initial launcher, they have their own version of the NGSP or proxy that's built into the actual game. And so it allows for a very smooth gameplay, even whenever you are playing with very high ping, because it simulates a zero ping experience within the game. And that's really the thing that makes the game shine. Like, really, Tera is carried by its combat. And whenever you are able to play your class in a very smooth gameplay fashion, where it feels like you're playing with no ping, it really is rewarding to be able to play the game and experience the combat system that Tera has. On the note of Tera having really one of the best combat systems out of any MMOs that I've personally ever really played, one of the huge things that does differentiate MT is going to be the fact that PvP actually exists. There are active queues typically around the EU timeframes, as well as quite a few events that are posted saying, hey, here's a bunch of rewards. Play Freywind Canyon 25 times over the next, 2 weeks or whatever it may be. They put a decent amount of effort into even balancing PvP and really just making sure that those instances of PvP do pop. Civil unrest is pretty active each week, and I know that there are quite a few things in which the team is trying to develop content specifically related to PvP. Now, realistically, there always does need to be an active player base whenever it comes to something like a private server, because that's what we're reliant on to get queue pops, to get dungeons and everything like that running, and making it feel like a live server. With MT being based in the EU, the server has a daily population of 100 to 500 active players on any given day. That's more than enough to sustain dungeon runs, get PvP running in peak hours, and even keeping an active player base in the NA times. Overall, though, I believe that the core thing that keeps MT moving forward is the teams in the back end that put so much emphasis on the future of the server and keeping Tera alive and well, bringing out newer content to the game. What are your hopes for the future of MT, Icha?
Hey, I hope to provide the Terra experience we all know and love, and striving to get more people to play and become the largest Terra server there has ever been. I hope for more technical discoveries so we can introduce even more never before seen content to you guys. Examples of this would be a completely new dungeon or a brand new PvP area reminiscent of the Alliance days. And finally, more new costumes. I really like the ones we've created. I hope you will too.
After a couple conversations like this with Icha, really everything boils down to me having a lot of faith in the MT team to carry Tera forward as a game into the future. They're players first and foremost, and have really been looking to create just the best iteration of the game, rather than trying to carry on the game and provide like a little bit of life support for the purpose of basically selling more loot boxes. That's like the thing that honestly stands out the most whenever it comes to the server, or really any of the private servers out there. This is all driven based off of passion and off of people wanting the game to be as good as it could be with the live servers. One thing whenever I started making this video and I wanted to get the input from the MT team, they wanted to go about showing the support for like me and for like the community as a whole. And so what they ended up doing is actually creating a little freebie package for everybody. Now, this is both for existing players and new players who are hopefully downloading the game now. With the code STILL ALIVE, all caps, no spaces, once again, STILL ALIVE, this package will actually give you 3 days of the Tera Club, which will allow you to spam more dungeons and get some more reputation for like your dailies and whatnot with it. A dyeable Starcatcher's robes, a winged laurel wreath headpiece, and even the matching weapon skin that goes with that. Not only that, they're also giving you a couple of dyes, since, I mean, really, we know the true end game of Tera is cosmetics. And they're going to actually give, for people who don't necessarily care as much about cosmetics, they're going to actually give us the flying mount, the Ancient Flamewinder. This is the Phoenix mount that actually gives you a crit proc buff, which is really essential for PvE with like parsing and all that kind of stuff, but also a self-resurrection on a 30-minute CD. Really, this whole package is being very, very generous. I wasn't expecting them to give us this amount of stuff. Maybe like, oh, here's like a little cosmetic helmet, or, oh, here's some, Ashram coins to pick like one weapon skin. But giving this whole like setup as a whole really surprised me, and it just shows that they want this video to succeed. They want the community to grow bigger, and really they just kind of want to give back to people and won't hold back whenever they're being generous. Now, to go about redeeming this bundle, what you're going to do is go to mtdream.net, and then once you create your account on there, there's a redeem code option, and then you'll just go about redeeming that and claiming that in game. Now, with how generous this offer is, they are making it only a 30-day coupon. So if you're seeing this 30 days after the video's been published, unfortunately this won't be active. But I really do hope to see y'all in-game regardless, because this is such a great opportunity to play a game that we love. All in all, MT gives people the opportunity to play Tera and experience the game in the hands of people who truly have loved the game from the beginning and want for it to become its best iteration. From a server that started out with 5 to 10 players to the most active server available, I'm sure Icha would have a few words for the veterans of the server and hopefully all the new players from this video even.
Hey, so I do have a message for both veterans and newcomers. So, for us, this is a passion project to make the best version of Tera possible. And if you are a veteran player, please do encourage and welcome new and returning players, as it is a group effort to create and grow our community. And my message for new players, I hope that you give us the opportunity to enjoy Tera against for MT and have faith in our team to make Tera the best it's ever been.
And that's that, everybody. I hope that through this video it has inspired you to give the best combat MMORPG of all time another go, especially with it in the hands of people who have shared a passion for Tera all this time. Please make sure to like and share the video to friends, whisper some old guildies, and really take your time to experience the game we've all loved and will continue to love in the near future. See you all in game. Peace, peace.